And you're talking about the wild, wild west. If somebody come in my house at 2 o'clock in the morning, I have a legal firearm. You bet your bottom dollar is wild, wild west. Buddy, what you doing in my house at 2 o'clock in the morning? And why is the opposition so hell-bent on protecting that person right to enter my house at 2 o'clock in the morning and for me not to have a right to do something about it? It don't make sense. So a lot of people like they still don't understand the home invasion bill. So here to clarify everything for you and make it crystal clear is Senator Anil Roberts. So we're going to take a look at this video and hear exactly how he broke down this law and explain to you what you might miss.
Senator Dan Paul, let me deal with you anyway, yeah? This bill is not about gun, but it's setting, codifying what exists in the common law, okay? But obviously, if you listen to the Attorney General and the Honorable Prime Minister and the government, we want to keep our citizens safe. Because unfortunately, for 10 long years, when your government was in charge, nothing functioned. You didn't help the judiciary. You didn't help the DPP. The DPP at 37%. You didn't buy car, under attack, in their homes. They call in. Nobody answering the phone. The police had no car to come. They come after the bandits gone and people lying down dead already. So we have to protect the citizens because one life lost, one home invasion, all you asking about if it was the number, if it's 500, 520. If it is one, it is too many. We have to protect the people.
And to be completely fair, what he's saying, while it might sound like personal attacks, is factual statements. Over the past 9 to 10 years, you couldn't call a police station and get a police car to come to you if it was dying. And even if they had a car, and still, in some instances, this is still going on. They wouldn't come till about 1 or 2 hours after. What this bill is clearly stating is, why not allow homeowners to protect their home and the people who live in their home? Why was that a big deal? Why we didn't do that all the time? Why we don't give them the right that if somebody attacking you in your house, you could use preventative measures to stop that?
I sit here and I hear some of the most ludicrous arguments. You talking, and then they talk about a gun. You're not, if guns are going to any FUL holder, there is a process.
I thought he was really good on cost there. But again, you can't just go in a parlor and buy a gun. I can't go down the road by Tantivido and say, hey, let me get a gun there. Things don't work so. There are processes in place to ensure that you are 1, mentally fit, 2, physically fit, 3, mentally stable again to hold a firearm. So they're not just going to give it out like butterscotch on the corner when Santa passing. Somebody had explained that to you.
A gun is not something that you just hand out like dinner mint. There is training, there is practice, there is psychological testing. You don't get a gun and just say, well, what to do with this? So when you're in your house and bandits come in, you are well trained. Then there's the other thing, the PNM coming up with, creating all sorts of cases. There's no panacea for anything. The baddest soldier in the world could die.
Because they're saying that even with a gun, you could get, hurt. But at the end of the day, the point that Senator Anil Roberts trying to make is, even the most trained soldier, in those instances, it is better to be prepared than to be a victim. Why is it that the previous administration, now in the opposition, still so hell-bent on making citizens victims and don't want them to protect themselves? They're coming up with all kinds of excuses. You don't need a firearm to protect your house. This law is a home invasion bill that giving homeowners the right to protect their dwelling, their occupants of their dwelling, their family, their loved ones, by whatever means necessary. As an Indian, to me that translates, use a tree line. You don't have to go and get a gun.
Rambo get killed because the guns kill. There may be circumstances where you are caught and you have to understand and your training has to kick in. If you are sleeping in your bed, and they will teach you also when you're sleeping in your bed, you're going to be right there, turn. So if you wake up and you put your hand so it does hold it correct, they teach you all sorts of things. But if you are caught and you are at a disadvantage, you have to know to go to plan B, which is de-escalate, calm, talk down the bandit, try to save your family. It's not wild, wild west. There will be training as there has been since time immemorial.
The opposition making this an issue, but I am 100% sure that if not all, about 70 to 80% of members on the opposition bench are FUL holders. So they went through the procedure. They know exactly the protocols. They know the tests that you have to go through. They know everything. But they wanted to make an issue for you as a law-abiding citizen to attain the same measure of security that they have. Why? For what reason?
Hand out a gun like wilderness, Senator Dan Paul. But you was a part-time Minister of Finance, you got a little Kobo sweat. But then you also said that in minutes, we could have locked down this country with technology and so on, but you had 30 days. How come you didn't do it? It was only take minutes, but you didn't do it. So then we have to ask the question. Since it was so easy, and $500 billion you spent in 9.5 years, how come the country not locked down with AI and technology? How come the country not safe? How come the citizens dying? So that means since it was so easy, Senator Dan Paul, then the mens rea is there to show that you all did not want to do it. And we have to ask the question why. We have to.
Now, that is a very serious point that he threw across there, right? But let me try to be impartial about this and talk this through. Now, the last accusation I made was you were capable of it according to what you say, but over the past 5 years you didn't do it. Why? That is a fair question to ask. If you said that something could be done in a day, less than a day time, a couple hours, and you had an extended period of time to get it done and you didn't do it, why didn't you do it? And the bottom line is because it's not so simple. AI is not some magic tool. Technology is not some magic tool that will just fix any and everything and all your problems. And I guess that you figure that out during your tenure. But at the end of the day, the tax-paying, law-abiding citizens of this country remain unprotected and without the right to protect themselves. This bill gives law-abiding citizens, homeowners, the right to protect themselves. Why is this a problem? And you're talking about the Wild Wild West. If somebody come in my house at 2 o'clock in the morning, I have a legal firearm. You bet your bottom dollar is Wild Wild West, buddy. What you doing in my house at 2 o'clock in the morning? And why is the opposition so hell-bent on protecting that person right to enter my house at 2 o'clock in the morning and for me not to have a right to do something about it? It don't make sense.
Ask the question why the PNM didn't do it. Why they left the borders unchecked. Why they let all the boats sit down there. Why they didn't get diesel. Why they crashed the air guard. Why 23 pilots left. Why no helicopters. Why they didn't fix the radar. I have to ask you why now, because are your team, ain't? You see, you should not jump into a team that you don't know about. Because if it was so easy, then why are my citizens dying like that?
A fair question, right? Nothing he said there was an accusation based out of false statement. Everything that was said, no matter how you want to take it emotionally, was based on fact. Things that actually happened. Things that went unchecked. Processes that fell through. Borders that were left open. Radar systems that failed. Now we have the US coming and fixing it for us. And that is a big problem too. What are you actually trying to do to your supporters? Are you under the assumption that the less they know is the better for them?
Abdul Hamid, welcome back, boy. I forgive you for not being good today because you're rusty. You ain't come here for 15 years. Ken Julian and Patrick Manning must be ashamed at what you came here to debate today. You come to read from an Oxford University study about racial bias in Trinidad and Tobago. The last time I checked as the Douglas here, all are we black and brown. But you're all taking a study that deals with Anglo-Saxon white people oppressing black and brown people and come to tell me that black and brown people go oppress who? Who going to oppress who? The kind of nonsense I have to sit down in the Senate and listen to. All you just research and book up anything and read it out to say what, a bright?
They're trying to shape that in a way to frame it as one demographic of black people going to start killing another demographic of black people in Trinidad for nothing, just so. Because this bill gives you the right to defend your home when an intruder in your home. This is the rhetoric they're feeding their supporters, that this set of black people going to use this as an opportunity to kill this set of black people. Although see how dumb that is, anybody could just kill anybody just so? I don't know, buddy. Let us believe them shit, yeah?
The state has the responsibility, yes, to provide safety and security. But as I just said, for 9.5 years, there's no safety, no security. So what are we to do? So what the PNM is saying, we must leave the citizens at the mercy of criminals that have illegal guns, running up in their house with AR, 9mm and so on. Don't do anything. While we fix the other things that they didn't fix? No, we say citizens deserve the right to protect themselves. Whether the wife protect the husband protect the wife, and the children, they have the right so to do. But we will fix everything else also.
How is anybody who is supposed to be a leader of a country, part of the leading team, part of the team elected to lead the people of our country, to manage their tax-paying dollars, to manage the country affairs, how can any person in that position find a problem with a citizen protecting themselves in the parameters of their own home, in the event that somebody come into their home who's not supposed to be there? All right, so there's going on here in this political line now, but the major issues we get to cover, right? The major issue we get to cover. If you oppose this law, you don't agree with it, an intruder come into your house, sit down, take out your phone, call the police, and wait. Allow whatever happen to happen. Don't use the law. You keep the mentality of the old law in place and the law wrong. So don't follow it. Don't protect yourself. Don't protect your home. Don't protect your loved ones, and allow whatever happens to happen if an intruder comes into your premises. Go ahead if you oppose this law. For them, for those reviews, is Jeremy. Don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this. You think Senator Anil Roberts was right, or you think that he just too aggressive and blatant? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're almost at 500. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers before the year done, before December. So if you can help me out, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll love you forever. I'll see everybody in the next one. Later.